Getting ready for high school basketball action tonight on WOSN. We are here at Wapakoneta High School as the Redskins hosting the Kalida Wildcats in some non-conference basketball action this evening. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Rich Bensman, I'm Patrick Kamler, and looking forward to what we think will be a competitive, albeit low-scoring matchup tonight between the Wildcats and the Redskins. Wildcats coming off a loss to Miller City the other night in some tough competition. Wapak having all they could handle from Bath, so it'll be interesting to see how the Saturday adjustments come as we take a look at the keys to the game. Coach, starting with the Wildcats, struggling a bit this year, looking for what would only be their fourth win of the season. What do they have to do to pull away with a win tonight?
Well, they talked about just pretty general, the Kalida Wildcats were talking about just being ready to play. I mean, he actually had a league, contest last night, and so he was pretty vague when we kind of talked. But limit the mental errors and just rebounding the basketball on both ends.
And for Wapak, once again, probably a lot of the same stuff. The Redskins looking to hold serve here at home court tonight. What do they need to do for a win?
So, I mean, they talked about win the rebound battle. It seems to be what coaches like, and that's very important, obviously, on both ends of the floor. You want to try to offensive rebound to get second chance points, and then you want to block out to limit those second chance points. And they talked about limit transition basketball because Kalida likes to get out and go a little bit, so they want to limit that transition and then play inside out.
Those are your keys to the game. We will have the starting lineups and the tip-off when we come back right here. It is Kalida taking on Wapakoneta. We'll be back for more right here on WOSN. Keep it here. Welcome back to Wapakoneta as the starting lineups being announced between Kalida and the home team Redskins. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken sponsoring the scoreboard tonight. Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens. As we take a look at the starting five tonight. First for the Kalida Wildcats, head coach Ryan Steckschulte shaking it up, being a little cagey with his last-minute starting lineup, and inserts Logan Kerner into the lineup to join Hoffman, Clausing, Smith, and Siebenek. Taking a look at the starting lineup for the Wapakoneta Redskins. Redskins coming into the contest 8-10, 3-4 in the WBL, and it is Metzger, Sadler, Moyer, Shaddle, and Page. So, there were some questions about Zach Niekamp not starting tonight. Maybe he'll play a little bit. We'll see what happens. But that is going to be the starting lineup for head coach Trey Elkert as they get up and running here, and we get ready for basketball action tonight on WOSN.
Yeah, Patrick, both of these programs the last few years have done some really nice things and have had some pretty good records. Obviously, Ryan Steckschulte's been at Kalida for a while, and Trey Elkert is obviously son of Scott, longtime coach at Jackson Center.
So we are underway here, the Matt Teagan cooling first quarter. Kalida controlling the tip and has the basketball.
Wapakoneta coming out in a man-to-man defense.
So you're always kind of curious, I would imagine, as a coach, how the first couple minutes, how do you guys come out? How do they respond to, coming and turn around and playing 24 hours? Well, in this case, less than 24 hours after playing last night.
And both teams are kind of in the same situation. I noticed that Wapakoneta is switching on all ball screens. I don't know that that's going to play any much of a difference because everybody seems to be the same size on the floor.
Here is Kerner with the penetration. He passes it off. Here's Jacob Siegneck. He passes it off. And the first points belong to Kalida, Jackson Hoffman.
Yeah, so that was a really good Laker cut from Hoffman into the lane, and it was a good find as far as the pass.
Imagine for head coach Ryan Steckschulte, important for Kalida to get off to as fast a start as they can. The Wildcats not having the best season in the world. That drive in by Caden Page a little too far underneath the basket. Wildcats only 3-15 on the season. But this is the perfect time of year to stage a turnaround if you can.
Yeah, a little cross screen there from post to rolling up to the elbow with a couple back little handoffs.
Here's a 3-ball, frost roofing 3-pointer, no good.
Something to watch on those ball screens with Wapakoneta. When they ball screen, Kalida holds pretty hard on the hedge and hold pretty hard. That roller might be open for Wapakoneta.
We'll see how that develops here as we've got 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Kalida up 2-0.
Little dribble weave up top.
I was just about to say they're doing a weave there top of the key. I'm going to try and let you handle all the basketball nomenclature as much as possible. I remember some of it.
Yeah, that was a good little drive in the paint, a little pass to the post.
Looking for someone that passes it back out. Frost roofing 3-pointer on the way, and good catch. Shadow money from downtown, and it's 3-2.
And a lot of coaches like to talk about playing inside out. That time they got the ball inside of the post and the good kick out, which you don't realize. Oh, that was a good cut.
Couple of nice passes. Here's Griffin Klausing with the hook shot, just short. Can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Nate Metzger. Metzger, nice bounce pass. Tried to finish with the left hand. Did Caleb Moyer and couldn't get it down. And we got a Wildcat shaken up on the court, favoring either the knee or the ankle. I think that's
ankle, maybe.
Looks like that's Jacob Siebenek.
Yeah, looks like he's got a brace on that ankle as well.
So there's going to be a substitution.
Going back to inside-out basketball, Patrick, you know, what a lot of people don't understand, when you pass, when the ball comes back out from the post to a guard or a perimeter player, their footwork is more naturally set to step into their shot.
Mm-hmm. That's Parker Vorst who's checked in for the Wildcats.
A lot of motion offense around the free throw line by Kalida, a little setting those flare screens on the elbow area. So right now you got a 5-out motion offense. We're gonna we got a little entry call here. Looks like a horn set. Both guys are up at the three-point line, elbow extended.
Bubba Smith, top of the key, passes it off. Now looking inside. Pass back out to Smith. Getting it back around. Here's Vorst. Frost roofing 3-pointer, no good. And we'll have our first foul of the contest as we take a look at the Union Bank instant replay here.
Be over the back, yeah. It's a good block out by the Redskins.
So Bubba Smith picks up his first foul. That's the team's first.
Let's see what this looks like. A 1-2-2, three-quarter court zone that Kalida just came out into.
And dueling turnovers here as Wapak ends up with it. Bit of a trap employed, and they need to get across the timeline. They do.
Now they went back man to man.
Pass, working the ball around. Here's another Frost roofing 3-pointer on the way. That one no good. Back the other way come the Wildcats. Nice take inside by Kerner. Couldn't get that one to go. Rebound.
Big jump
Logan Healy with the rebound. And
wow.
Yeah. So foul called on Vorst. That's his first. Still 3-2 here in the early going. Both defenses doing a pretty good job of not allowing a lot of points so far. Well, hardly any points.
Yep, here we're back into the 1-2-2. So it's going to be after dead balls. It looks like after makes at this point. It was a great find.
Inside, can't finish. Nice dish inside. Metzger finishes with the left hand. Redskins on top 5-2. 3 minutes remaining in the Matt's Heating and Cooling quarter. First quarter, that is.
Running Kalida Wildcats are running that motion offense around the kind of the free throw line, elbow extended area.
Nice stop and pop there.
Yep.
By Smith.
He got that nice and high off the glass, yep. Patrick. Yeah, he put it up on that inside triangle or box. Here's that 1-2-2 again.
A bit of a trap. Wapak quickly out of it. Now working the ball around. Here's Healy inside and gets the bounce.
They've really, Wapak has done a great job of kind of driving that 1-2-2 and also trying to attack the middle.
Passing back out is Vorst.
Still switching on the ball screens is what Wapak is doing on ball screens. A little flash to the high post.
Clausing has it. Smith takes. Foster's three-pointer is good. That ties this one up early at 7.
Yeah. Just trying to stop that reversal pass with that length up top on that 1-2-2. Good job with that opposite guard diving in to protect the middle, but they still did a good job of getting to the ball in the block.
There's Metzger taking care of some stout defense, and he puts it up to break the tie, 9-7.
So if he wants them to, yeah, this is their motion offense. Gonna spread the floor, looking to post a little bit. That's a nice little slip screen.
Yep. Frost Roofing three-pointer on the way. No good. Vorst can't knock it down. Here comes Metzger and the Redskins. Thought about putting it up there. Did Healy for a moment.
Yep. Obviously, Kalida's back into a man-to-man defense.
Final 45 seconds here of the first quarter. 9-7, Wapak on top. Drive, nice spin move inside by Metzger. Could get it to finish. Wildcats back the other way. Here's Vorst.
Might have gotten away with one right there with a little travel.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. So Coach Dexley is looking for a kind of a last-second quick hitter here.
Seems that way. Able to hang on to the basketball there. Here's Smith driving in, loses it, and he is fouled.
Flipped him from behind, but got a little bit of the arm.
Union Bank replay. That was the previous foul. Only 3 fouls here in the first quarter, so not a whole lot of whistles.
They got 8.9 seconds left, so they got a little time to let a secondary thing develop out of this out-of-bounds play.
Nathan Colley inbounds and a turnover, so it'll be Wapak with a chance maybe to get a shot off. 3 seconds. Here's Caleb Moyer. He pulls up. Frost Roofing three-pointer is no good, and that is how the first 8 minutes come to a close. It's Wapak 9, Kalida 7. You're watching high school basketball here on WOSN. Tonight's premier sponsor for the Wapak Redskins is Al's Woody's Diner in Wapak. It's Wapak's best place for pizza, wings, subs, and burgers. Call 419-738-9111. Second quarter ready to get going here from Wapak. Redskins with a 9-7 lead. Patrick Hamler, Rich Bensman here with you, and it's about what we expected offensively and defensively really for the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. Both teams there's not really a strong post present with either team, so we're all out of 5-out motion offense, around the free throw line area, and maybe a little wrinkle is Kalida kind of came out in that 1-2-2 three-quarter court kind of zone, but other than that, it's pretty much what we expected. There's that dribble weave for Wapak again into a post touch.
Second quarter underway, and you mentioned that a lot of the guys are about the same size, particularly over on Wapak's side. They've got 5 guys listed at 6'2". Not that the starting lineup is gospel by any stretch,
right?
But that's a lot of similarities there. Moyer pulls up from 16 feet and knocks it down.
And Sadler for Wapak might be the biggest presence as far as 6'4", on the floor.
Yeah.
So they swing the wings here. Kalida does. One goes over, one goes under.
Here's the Wildcats. Siebenek passes it off.
So now there's a little 4 out, 1 in. They got good skip pass.
Try to get it to the other side. Nathan Colley with the basketball, but not able to find much of anything.
No. Got a seal there. They're going to post seal, but they take it away from him.
Long possession for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Looking for something. Carson Ringler passes that one, and it is intercepted. Coming back the other way, here's Cash Shaddle. He's going to pull up, fadeaway jumper, off balance, can't get it to go. Back the other way come the Wildcats.
Yeah, good decision on the pull up.
Siebenek from 14 knocks it down. 11-9 here in the early part of this Matt's Heating and Cooling second quarter.
So back straight man-to-man for the Kalida Wildcats. So they've taken off that, one quarter court, 1-2-2 press.
And we'll get a foul here on Jackson Hoffman. That's going to be his first. Take a look at that. And anytime you have a foul called, most of the time the guy looks around and goes, really?
Right.
I was just playing defense.
Yeah. He didn't quite get all the way around him. He wanted a three-quarter post him, but he didn't get all the way around it. But I thought Moyer did a good job of bearing him a little bit lower on the block.
Metzger underneath. And Metzger making his presence felt here in the early going. It's a 4-point lead for Wapak. Metzger with 6 points, almost half of the Redskins' total here in the first about quarter and a half. And the ball, a little bit of a rugby scrum for it, and Wapak comes away with it. Moyer.
Tried a little step under move. A great job of walling him up with Kalida. He didn't leave his feet, so he couldn't get that step under.
Metzger, nice spin move off the glass. Can't get that one to go into the hands of Hoffman.
I think with Moyer and Sadler, I think Wapak might have the advantage if they want to go with some post touches down low.
There's a Frost Roofing three-pointer up and good by Siebenek.
Yeah, Moyer had a hard time getting around that screen. He actually just adjusted a little bit of the movement of the ball. He needed to be up the line a little quicker.
Yeah, going back to what you said earlier, Rich, really the only guy who's termed as post play, if you're going to put, Sadler in there at 6'4", Adams possibly at 6'4". Here's a Frost Roofing three-pointer off the mark by Shaddle. Carson Ramlinger for Kalida is really about the only one that can match up. Here's Ramlinger right there with the basket. A little too far underneath. Doesn't get a clean look at it. He's the only 6'4" guy on the team. Everyone else is between 5'8" and 6'1".
Right. And, Moyer's 6'2" for Wapak Redskins, but I'll tell you, so what? He posts and seals hard down low. So that's just twice now they've come down, Wapak, and they've tried to get a flare screen for a shot off their offense.
So back off. Bubba Smith has it. They will reset.
High ball screen.
Halfway through the second quarter, Smith hangs on to it. 13-footer is up and in. That will give Kalida the lead once again.
He's got pretty good body control when he drives and he finishes, Smith.
Shaddle has it near midcourt, passes it off to Richardson.
Here comes a little two-man action side ball screen. He refused the screen, went baseline. Great extra pass.
Here is Metzger, tries to scoop it in and is fouled. Here's another look at it, courtesy of Union Bank. So that will put Nate Metzger at the line for the first time tonight. 45% from the charity stripe.
He's got a little quick release at the very top of this. He lets it go pretty early.
Second one does not go. Yeah, you're right. That is a quick release.
Yeah,
you don't see that very often.
His shooting form, his hands are going out more than they're going up. and therefore that's why you saw it was a little long.
Wildcats the basketball in a 1-point lead.
It's a pretty good defense by Wapak right there on post.
Yeah.
People, I'd like to see players try to get more of a double bury down on the block with their post touches. They get pushed out so high, and it's not really a good double bury on the block, Patrick.
Yeah. Points have been at a premium so far for both teams. Here's Colley. Dribbled, kicked out. Frost-roofing three-pointer. That one is long for Clausing. And the Redskins have it with a chance to retake the lead. 2:11 remaining.
There's that flare screen for the corner.
In the second quarter, Frost-roofing three-pointer. That one is short. And Siebenek comes up with the rebound.
That's been open. They just, the Redskins haven't been able to hit any of those shots, but that little flare screen on the elbow where he drifts out to the corner has been there. Kalida with a little bit of the flare screen of their own right there.
Yep. Another Frost-roofing three-pointer, and that one by Jacob Siebenek connects.
Jacob Siebenek, three-point shot.
As I would expect with a lot of small school basketball, really good looking form on some of these shots.
Gives Kalida a three-point lead. Now here's a nice pass underneath for number 11, Logan Healy. That stops the Kalida 8-0 run. And Smith, he's going to pull up. Frost-roofing three-pointer is no good, be able to get it back. Pass inside, looking for Clausing, and one.
It's just a good extra pass right there. He knew he's a little out of control under the basket, and it was a good assist, good pass.
So chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. Kerner and Schrader check in for Kalida. Vorst has a seat for the Wildcats, and that will bring up Clausing. 6 of 19 from the charity stripe this season. And doesn't get it to go. 19-15, 48 seconds remaining in the first half.
I think Wapak's just playing it and not necessarily playing for one, just kind of continue to run their offense, see what they can get here. Good little dribble weave, dribble handoff.
Moyer penetrates, off balance, off the glass and in. 2-point Kalida lead. And it looks like they're probably going to hold for the last shot here, Coach.
It looks like it. Looks like a horn set, so they're both coming up. Nope, they've changed their mind on that. So little staggered screen for Smith and a roll with the first screener.
They'll pull up, Smith open, Frost-roofing three-pointer at the buzzer, in and out. Went about as far down as you can without actually counting, and that is the end of the first half. 19-17, Kalida on top of Wapak. We'll have the third quarter here for you when we return. You're watching high school basketball action on WOSN. Welcome back. Halftime wrapping up here from Wapakoneta. Today's instant replay sponsor is Union Bank. Union Bank is committed to you. And our three-point sponsor for today's game is Frost Roofing. Family owned and operated for over 95 years. You join the Frost family. They are an equal opportunity employer. Call 419-739-ROOF. 17-19, Kalida on top of Wapak. Patrick Hamler, Rich Bensman here with you as we are just about ready for the third quarter to start, and the defenses have shown up, and it really has been that, seen solid defensive play really from both sides tonight, Coach.
Yeah, it's pretty methodical kind of pace for both teams right now, and of course they both played last night as well, but it's pretty methodical, and I think that sometimes people will say, hey, well, it's pretty monotonous. Well, there's excellence in monotony sometimes, Patrick. And sometimes you just got to do what you do and do it well, consistency and execution. And right now, both teams are kind of running a similar kind of offense, getting some flare screens around the elbow. So it's a kind of a motion offense. No real inside presence for the most part yet. I don't think has really materialized, although I think Wapakoneta's got the advantage there with what we were talking about earlier.
Excellence and monotony. That's got to be a T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah. Well, somebody was one of my guys when I coached was a little upset with how monotonous we were, and I said, well, there's excellence in monotony.
Right.
So that's kind of where that kind of came from.
Some things you want to look like you've done them before when you step onto the court.
Right. Well, you got two schools of thought: surprise and change, or consistency and execution. And you've seen a little surprising change there with Kalida when they did the 1-2-2.
Yep. Able to save that one from going out of bounds. Siebenek as we are underway here in the Matt's Heating and Cooling third quarter. Kalida hanging on to a 2-point lead. It's been Smith and Siebenek that has powered the offense. 15 of their 19 points is that shot. Frost Roofing three-pointer is no good. Logan Kerner unable to knock that down. Now it's Wapak. And quickly around the rim and in is Caden Page to tie this one up at 19.
Real good crossover and attack the middle. Looks like Wapak is picking up now early, man-to-man. Maybe want to get this going a little bit more up-tempo.
And a turnover.
Yep. It's got him here on the right.
Frost Roofing three-pointer is no good. Shadow shot unable to go. There's a nice pass, extra pass. Smith to Clausing. Trying to get up and in, and does.
Yeah. Comes that, it looks like that 1-2-2 again. Nope, it's a man.
Moyer bringing it up the court, guarded by Jackson Hoffman.
So there's where Iverson cut over the top with one win, couple of, there's that flare cut into the post.
Metzger puts it up, nope, gets his own rebound. Good ball movement, swinging that around. Ryan Sadler.
Spacing is a little tight there to get it to the block. They're really playing off a nice pass.
Cut inside, Caden Page, back door wide open, and he takes advantage of it.
Yeah, it really was a good cut and a good pass. See, it looks like, Walpole Redskins are trying to pick up the pace a little bit, force a little bit more defensive pressure, kind of force Kalida's hand to not run some of their stuff. I like what they do with hitting the wing, have a back cut off the point guard, and then have a two-man game where you screen and roll.
It's like Kalida really forcing some passes, so the Wapak defense is making them feel pretty uncomfortable in the passing lanes here in the opening minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah. So when the guard cuts through, he exits out to the corner, so you can have a screen and roll situation that opens up the post. See, here it comes. There it is.
Pick set. Trying to get it going. Here's Kerner. Penetrates inside just a little too behind the basket.
Yeah. Oh.
And here's Metzger on the run. Takes it up and in.
So now they're picking up full court man-to-man. I think the Redskins are looking to try to force the issue and get this game going a little bit in a more of a tempo game.
Speed it up a little bit, see if the Wildcats can keep up.
It just wasn't quite there yet, but on the backside of that, they got a flare screen. That was a nice looking shot.
Frost Roofing three-pointer by Kerner is up and good. Kalida retakes the lead, 24-23, coming up on the halfway point of this third quarter. Kicks out. Here's Sadler. And now back to Moyer. Moyer penetrates, has that one knocked away. It will stay over with Wapak.
It's actually pretty good recognition by Moyer. There was no block there. It was an open block. Everybody was kind of off to the left. And as soon as he got that pass, he swept and he drove it pretty hard to the basket.
Crew Allen checking in for Wapak. Also Jackson Schrader and Parker Vorst coming in for Kalida.
Yep.
Now here is Metzger off the glass and in.
That was just a little quick pass to the post. We used to tug our ear when we wanted that pass and kind of took Kalida a little bit. They weren't ready for that.
Cutting inside. Shot just a little short. Rebound, however, corralled. And a timeout on the floor with 3:28 remaining in the third quarter. We'll take it as well. You're watching high school basketball action on WOSN. Welcome back. Our quarter sponsor is Matt's Heating and Cooling. Is your home in the energy efficient zone? Call Matt's Heating and Cooling or go to callmattsheating.com to schedule your free estimates. Wapak and Kalida, one of many games happening on Saturday. Did you know that you can always go to WOSN.TV for scores, our broadcast schedule, and WOSN apps as well? We'll try again on that inbounds.
Yeah, they actually got a 5-second call on him. Kalida had a diagonal screen, and then he received a staggered screen, but they couldn't get it in bounds. So they got a 5-second call on him.
So that'll give the Redskins the basketball back with a 1-point lead.
A little
Frost Roofing three-pointer on the way, front rim, back and out. And diving for the basketball. Good effort by Metzger, but couldn't get it. It'll be Kalida basketball.
Once again, it looks like the Redskins are going to pick up a little early. Kalida puts both their guards a little farther from the inbounder. Get it to Smith and kind of clear out.
This game has been nip and tuck all the way. The largest lead for either side was 4 points for Kalida. Wapak's largest lead has also been 4. They led 13-9 at one point.
Now this time the ball screen came from the opposite block.
Here's Smith, almost unabated to the basket. Count it, and the foul as he hits that one from just outside the paint. And he'll have a chance at an old-fashioned three-point play.
As I said earlier, he's got really good body control on that little 15-foot jump shot. He does a nice job, Smith does.
Substitution being made as Jackson Hoffman comes back in. Siebenek has a seat. Smith to the line, shooting 56% from the charity stripe this season. That one clangs front iron.
Yeah.
Ball slapped away, and Kerner is there for it, and we will get a jump ball. And possession will stay with Wapak. So Nathan Cawley checking in for Bubba Smith.
So we got a little bit of line here on the free throw line. Oh, that was kind of an errant pass right there.
Cawley steps in there and picks it off. Frost Roofing three-pointer, splashdown for Logan Kerner.
That was really good action by Kalida. You know, kind of really gave the post a good look, and because they were really bottling up and mudding up the post, they had an opportunity to get that open look from the guard.
Redskins back down 4, under 2 minutes to go in the Matt's Heating and Roofing third quarter. Off balance for Page, couldn't get it to go. Cawley with the basketball, long pass to Hoffman. And Kerner thought about the three-pointer, instead dribbles back.
Yeah, gave him a little head up, kind of hesitation, kind of fake.
Hoffman kicks out. Frost Roofing three-pointer for Kerner, and he hits that one.
Yeah, that was an inside-out action again, Patrick. They dribble penetrated into the lane, which allowed the kick out for the open look on the three.
Kerner with 9 points tonight and very close to a heat check. Here is Metzger, and he is fouled.
I think the Redskins have come down the floor the last few trips offensively and have been a little impatient. You know, not many passes through the offense and kind of forcing the issue just a little bit.
So that puts Metzger back at the line, and that's his third foul shot, and is still looking for his first make as some substitutions coming. Smith and Schrader checking out for Kalida. Smith, Griffin Klossing in for the Wildcats. Metzger's second free throw, that one is up and good.
Sometimes when you want to pick up the pace and defensively you're picking up full court like that with the Redskins, maybe they come down and get a little bit too rushed themselves on offense.
Yeah.
A little elevator screen from the wing.
Frost roofing three-pointer by Kerner. That one's off the mark. And that one is up and no good. Hoffman couldn't get it to go.
Now we got two posts posted down there. Moyer and Sadler.
Yep, Sadler spin around, nice take.
Yeah, I think if the Redskins want to have some success, I think they need to start putting that ball down on the block a little bit more and go inside out.
Coach Elkert calls a timeout. Be a 30-second timeout if. We'll be right back here on WOSN. Welcome back. 7-point lead for Kalida. The premier sponsor tonight for the Wapak Redskins is Al's Woody's Diner in Wapak. It's Wapak's best place for pizza, wings, subs, and burgers. Call 419-738-9111.
And Wapak Redskins came out in a 1-2-2 press right there. They trapped the very first pass. Kalida did a great job of not passing closest to the inbounder, but away from the inbounder. And when you 1-2-2 trap like that, you don't want it to go in the opposite corner because you got more distance to go trap the basketball.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Smith to Kerner. Thought about the three. Klossing puts it up. That one is no good. Saved. No additional shot here as we wrap up the third quarter. It's a 32-28 Kalida lead as we head to the fourth. You're watching high school basketball action tonight on WOSN. Welcome back as we get started here. The scoreboard sponsor is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Lima, Wapak, Delphus, and St. Mary's. Call Lee's for all your catering needs. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, where home style happens. Matt's Heating and Cooling fourth quarter underway.
Got an appearance of a 2-3 zone. Kalida has come out in this fourth quarter. Disguising it, they got one of the what guards the closest to the ball handler comes up. The other one sinks down. Yeah, try to attack that middle is what Wapak's looking to do. Go to high-low, but just you gotta go to the corner of the backboard when you make that lob.
And a foul underneath. Carson Remlinger called for the foul. As this game has moved pretty briskly, not a lot of fouls and not a lot of timeouts used, and it's a 4-point game here with 7.5 remaining in the fourth, so expect it to bog down a little bit, and we're going to have a timeout.
Oh, he got the timeout.
So they got the timeout before the 5 seconds. Yeah. Did you know that if your family moved away, but if they still want to keep in touch with high school sports in the area, well, let them know about the WOSN channel streaming app on Roku. Streaming for only $8 a month. You can download it from Roku or Apple TV or sign up at app.wosn.tv so you can watch us from wherever you are. Rich, if you take a vacation and you decide to go to, I don't know, Iceland, you can stream WOSN if you bring your Roku with you or if you have the app.
Yeah, with it not coaching anymore, I do have a little more time for vacations. But, so spent a lot of time in this gymnasium. One of my recruits that played for me at Ohio Northern University was Adam Scott.
Okay.
So, really one of the all-time leading scorers here
Yep.
at Wapakoneta. Had a really fantastic career here and at Ohio Northern University.
And it is just a really cool environment where there are colleges that are close, ONU of course being one of them, where you don't have to travel miles and miles if you want to continue your career in college.
Yeah, my travel is a lot different from the comparatively lacrosse's coaches' travel. They're in Boston and they're in New York, and they're, I can stay in Auglaize County and Allen County and
spend the night in Cridersville. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Right.
That was a great job. They're going to call a hold on the Wildcats.
Indeed they are.
It's a good little clear out. He made a cut out of there, and then they try to seal Moyer, and Kalida's just holding him a little bit.
That was on Jackson Hoffman. It's his second. Page thought about the three-pointer, lost the basketball, back into the hands of Wapak, however. Metzger has it top of the key.
They're trying to get that seal for that lob again.
Here's Sadler working against Hoffman. There's that move again.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of success spinning to his right.
Yeah. I think that's, again, 6 minutes left to go in this game. I think Wapak, the Redskins have got to play inside-out basketball and get that down out on the blocks. Doesn't have to take the shot. They can kick it back out, but definitely have to establish an inside-out play.
Well, 5-0 run here for Wapak, and a turnover will give the basketball back to the Redskins. Six and a half minutes to go in the Matt's Heating and Cooling fourth quarter here. 2-point lead for Kalida, but Wapak looking to tie or retake the lead on this possession. Three-pointer from the corner, got it. Wapak back on top of the frost-roofing three-pointer.
Yeah, that was a total clear out for a drive for Page, and he did a great job of seeing Moyer in the corner with everyone sinking in for a wide-open three.
8-0 run by Wapak has given them back the lead, and Ryan Steckschulte wants to talk it over for the Wildcats. So Redskins back on top, 33-32. You're watching high school basketball here on WOSN. Welcome back. Tonight's instant replay sponsor is Union Bank. Union Bank is committed to you. It's a 1-point Wapak lead. The Redskins on an 8-0 run to retake the lead. And trying to win their 9th contest this season, as we are oh so close to tournament draw. And while, the outcomes of Saturday games before the Sunday draw usually don't affect them a whole lot, it's always nice to have a extra win when everything's considered.
Totally kind of reorganized the process of the tournament. They've got kind of like an RPI rating now. Coaches still have inputs, but you're going to be, it's a nice little drive by Smith.
Smith couldn't get it to go. Metzger with the rebound. It has been interesting ever since they made that change last year. It's always been interesting to talk to coaches. I've talked to a bunch of coaches, and it's 50-50. There's some who like it, and there's some who, don't like it. I'll just say that. They don't like it.
Yeah, well, I'm one of those. If I were still, I coached for 20 plus years in high school, and I definitely, the very end before they went to this system, I think was really good, where you still met as coaches, to discuss some things, but you still got ranked, but you filled out things for that ranking.
Right. Top of the key. Sadler thought about the three-pointer.
They run a nice little curl cut off of there. Here it goes. Moyer did a great job of backdooring that, and then you got to pick it, kind of a pop out of it. Here it comes again. See, there it is. And they roll out of that for the three. It's a nice little continuity here. There
Looking for it there. That time they found Moyer a little far under the basket. He has to kick that back out.
Yeah. I'd really be looking for a post touch.
And looking for Sadler there. He's back out. Key now he was going back inside for a minute. Well, that might be what they're looking for, Rich.
Yeah, well,
seems like it.
Yeah. Just don't have them in there right now. It's a 5 out. It looks like Moyer kind of went in, and Sadler's still out. So They're kind of running a 5-out right now.
Moyer kicks around. Sadler.
They're pretty content to run this down a little bit, maybe.
Now Metzger drives in, kick
pass.
wide open, Sadler underneath, and one.
That was pretty patient. You know, and again, they got that inside touch they were looking for. It was just off a nice cut from the corner to the basket on a dribble penetrator because the floor was so spread out. So that was good action.
Tell you what, that was some use of the clock and scoring that some football coaches would be proud of.
Yeah.
Sadler at the line. Doesn't get it to go. Pretty good free throw shooter. Sadler has been on the season, 69%.
Yeah.
35-32, 10-0 run for Wapak going back to the third quarter. Still a one possession game, but you gotta think that Kalida wants to do something here offensively.
Yeah, Patrick, Wapak, the Redskins came down in that first part of that second half, and they kind of forced the issue. You see the last few trips down the floor, they really ran some offense.
Cross-ripping three-pointer by Jacob Siebenek is up and good, and that ties this one back at 35.
They're spreading the floor again.
Metzger a little trouble with it, able to save it.
So it's a spreading floor looking for a cutter.
Moyer inside, and he will head to the line to shoot two.
So that time everyone held defensively out on the perimeter, not allowing any cuts, and you know he had the drive.
So that's the first foul on Griffin Clausing. That's the fourth team foul on Kalida, so they have no more fouls to give. Redskins have no fouls here in the fourth quarter as that free throw is up and in by Caleb Moyer. Moyer 70% for the season, 7 of 10, make him 8 of 11 now.
Yeah, he's pretty versatile at 6'2". He handles it pretty well, faces the basketball pretty well with it, and then he can really seal and post you down low. That's the last place you want to go, but he got out of there quick in that corner. He was smart enough. He knew not to get trapped there. Smith's a good, smart player out there on the floor for Kalida.
Ratcheting up the full court there for a minute. Trapped. Kalida able to get out of it, as you said. Now Kerner with the basketball. 2-point lead for Wapak.
You're really playing off of him. So Sadler's, you look like you might have a mismatch on some dribble penetration here with Smith because Sadler's playing Smith, but he's also playing off of him a great deal. He's giving him a heck of a step, so he must know drive first is what Smith is.
Smith, Clausing, and Kerner have 29, make it 31 of their 37 points tonight. And this one tied up again at 37.
Coach Dexter's yelling out gaps. He wants his team to definitely be mudding up the lanes and being in the gap, like right there. He did a good job of not allowing that dribble penetration.
It's very quiet.
Yeah.
Here in the, I just noticed that, very quiet in the auditorium for a 37-37 all game on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Kind of how the tempo of the game has kind of been as well. So it looks like Coach Elkert from this point on is going to run this 5-out offense. You either got spread them out and you got dribble penetration on a kick or a cut, or they're being very patient with it.
That will stay here with Wapak.
You just can't be aloof with the basketball now and have some sort of an aloof turnover. They got to continue to value the basketball and take care of it.
And the game is tied, and Kalida doesn't have any fouls to give. And I imagine if you're Coach Elkert, you're content to run this clock as long as you need to up until the final seconds.
Yeah.
And that may be what we see here with 1:06 and counting remaining in regulation, I guess. We'll threaten it. Here's Moyer. He drives in, takes it, passes it out. Here's Metzger. Metzger with a strong tape. Can't get it to go. Moyer with the rebound. Stolen away by Clausing. And a foul underneath as Moyer assessed the foul. That's the first on him and on Wapak.
Now Wapak can be aggressive here because they only got one foul.
Yeah.
So you can let some time run down and if need be, disrupt the kind of rhythm and the flow of the game if the time's getting a little bit lower with a foul.
Siebenek to inbound, does so, gets it out to Kerner. 37-37, 43 seconds remaining, and well,
yep. So
exactly what you said, Rich.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd have done it that early, but it's good because he was getting downhill, so they didn't want to get it out of control. So again, and they have a few more to give, so they can continue to allow that to happen. And when it looks like it's getting out of control and going downhill for them, just go ahead and get that foul.
Crew Allen checking in. He is guarding Smith, and Kalida is going to take a timeout. So we will stick around here. So it's 36 seconds left. It's all tied up. Kalida with the basketball. You're Ryan Steck-Schulte. What's your best approach coming out of the timeout?
Well, you probably want to get something off, but you want to have time for a rebound. So he's probably going to look to get a shot, and they probably have quick hitters in this situation. A lot of coaches do special situations in practice. So most likely it's not going to be something that the players have seen for the first time, drawn up. They've been in these situations, or at least they've played these situations in practice. So, and that he's not got his clipboard out, so that's exactly his dry erase. So he's just talking about what they probably worked on before, or some kind of a quick hitter they have in. But definitely want a little time for an offensive rebound.
Most of the offense has come through Logan Kerner. He has 9 points. Bubba Smith with 9 points. And Jacob Siebenek with 13 points tonight for Kalida. That has been the vast majority of the Wildcat offense. So you would expect that it would be one of those guys who would get a look at the basketball whenever they decide to have that play, whether it's at the buzzer or with some time to possibly get a rebound, like you said.
Sure. And maybe, he's scoring, let's get a stop. But I think that's probably what we're going to look at is just have a little patience, and they're going to have to maybe call a timeout if they need it here. Oh, that's good job, pressure release, getting out, a little run and jump trap.
Kalida with 2 timeouts remaining, and Wapak using one of those fouls to give that they have.
Yeah. Braylon Smith's really good with the basketball. He does a nice job. He's spun out of that trap and got into a north and south kind of downhill motion really quick.
Inbound to Kerner, 25 seconds.
Still got some foul to give, so it looks like it's going to.
Bring it around, Kerner losing the handle, gets it back, and Steck-Schulte's going to save it.
Yeah, it's probably
call timeout.
Kind of felt this team was a little bit kind of out of control.
All right. Yeah. So full timeout. We are still tied at 37. Hey, if you're one of those cord cutters, you just have an antenna, you can watch WOSN for free on 44.2 or use our app for only $8 a month. You can sign up at app.wosn.tv. We are using various ways to make sure you can watch a high school sports action, and you can avail yourself of any one of those. Download our app. Check us out on 44.2 if you have an antenna at home. As we come up on the final seconds of this one, and I would imagine the approach probably doesn't change at all. You have a few less seconds than you had before. You're still looking for one of your guys. You're still looking for a clean shot and probably looking for a second chance if you can get it.
Probably at 10, go into whatever you want to go into, 10 seconds, and maybe take the shot at 5 or 4 for an offensive rebound. Seconds would be ideal. It was a good timeout by Coach Steck-Schulte. I think the Wildcats were getting a little bit out of control there, kind of got pushed up, and it was a great job of, I think, just calming them down, getting some poise here.
Wapak still with a foul to give. 16.3 seconds left.
There we go.
Ball inbounds to Smith.
Looks like it's going to be a
Smith has it.
2-man game. He's going to drive it.
Thinks about it. Gets in trouble. Ball comes loose, and a foul called just in time as Wapak was getting that basketball back, and Metzger called on the foul. So that is on the floor.
Yep.
But no more fouls to get for Wapak. 3.3 seconds left, and Kalida takes their last timeout, 32nd timeout. So a quick talk here with only 3.3 seconds left. So I think a lot of it is just it's now faster, and you're not going to have time for a rebound.
No.
You got to get your shot and take it.
Yeah, it's quicker. It's a quicker hitter. It could be a direct from the out of bounds, or it could probably. It's going to have to be that because there's not a lot of time. You can get into a player's hands, but he's going to have to do something. So the action's got to have to be created from this out of bounds kind of quick hitter.
Kalida Wildcats on a 3-game losing streak, losing 4 of their last 5. They opened with an 11-game losing streak. So they've won 3 games of their last 7. That's another way to look at it. Can they pick up number 4 here tonight? We're going to wait a little bit longer because Trey Elkert is going to call a timeout as the chess match begins.
Yeah.
And, you know, the folks that are watching this at home, they may be thinking, man, come on. Get the timeouts over with. Let's go play some basketball. How do you feel about this as a coach?
Oh, Trey's got to take a look at it. He just had to take a look at what kind of Kalida was kind of what kind of set they were in or what kind of spacing they were in. And it was unique. I'm going to tell you that right now. You had some guys spread out on the strong side. It almost looked like it could come back in for the inbounder, but we'll see if they line up in the same kind of – that looks like it to me. That's the same as what they were lined up. Pretty spread out on the basketball floor right now.
Bubba Smith looks to inbound.
So
3.3 seconds left.
Yeah, see how they play this out of bounds. Oh, he turns it. He's got his back to it. That's interesting. Oh, they wanted to get that slip screen.
Looking for somebody. They have no timeouts. They got to get it in. Clausen gets it, puts it up at the buzzer. No.
Wow.
Probably not what they wanted. Good defense by Wapak, and that is going to send this one to overtime. We'll be back. Bonus basketball here on WOSN. Our 3-point sponsor tonight is Frost Roofing. Family owned and operated for over 95 years. Join the Frost family. They are an equal opportunity employer. Call 419-739-ROOF. Overtime action here from Wapak High School. Wapak and Kalida tied at 37.
Yeah, I think Patrick, they ran that last out of bounds. They had the floor spread so well. What they were actually looking for is the guy rolling back to the ball who set the screen. He was briefly there, but they recovered on it pretty quick. But when you're so far spread out like that and you screen the ball, you might get the roller right to the basket.
Wapak with the good defense.
They're going to want to come to Moyer with it on the block. They're really muddying that up down there. Good job with Kalida.
So Jackson Hoffman and Moyer getting after it there in the post. Wapak having to back off as
that was a design backdoor play that the timing wasn't quite there.
Redskins once again demonstrating in no hurry to get the basketball.
Get the floor spacing. That's a good job by Page to send him the post out the other direction because the spacing wasn't very good. You're going to see it. Here we go now. We're at that 5 out again. Spreading the floor. You can either curl that, you can flare it or just backdoor like he just did, and then the roller can pop out. It's got a lot of tendencies of an open post motion offense back a while back. A lot of pass and cut. If they're denying the passing lanes, it's a good timeout by Trey Elkert.
Wapak takes the timeout. So 2:29 left in overtime. So a minute and a half chewed up on that possession. And a similar possession to what they had towards the end of the game. And you see Kalida's defense really not allowing it, not buying it, however you want to look at it. That hasn't had the seams open that Trey Elkert's wanted so far.
Yeah, they did a good job, better job Kalida did of kind of not allowing that ball to get reversed so easy, still taking away that back cut. So there was not a lot there, and they got in trouble a little bit because they picked up their dribble, and Coach Elkert recognized that and got a good timeout quick before something disastrous happened.
We talked about scoring for Kalida. Wapak has been paced primarily by Nate Metzger and Caleb Moyer. They have combined for 20 of the Redskins' 37 points tonight. Metzger with 11 points. Moyer chipping in 9. So it's been the battle of the Kalida 3 and the Wapak 2 for the most part. The other next leading scorer, I believe, Ryan Sadler for Wapak. He has 6 points tonight.
A little horn set right there. Screen, cross screen, and a little curl cut into a staggered, into a dribble weave handoff. That was nice action.
Moyer with a nice lane, and he's fouled by Klossing.
So that was definitely designed out of the timeout, and a lot of multiple action, kind of offensive action that Kalida had a guard there.
So that'll put Moyer at the line.
Yeah, it started in a horn set, Patrick. Got a cross screen for the opposite elbow guy who curled that, came off a staggered screen into a dribble handoff into, a drive.
Moyer plus 70% from the charity stripe this season and hits the first. And that puts Wapak back in the lead. Second one is up and good. Wapak in a low-scoring defensive struggle last night against Bath. They emerged victorious 36-31. They find themselves in a similar game here tonight, leading 39-37 in overtime with 2 minutes remaining in the first overtime.
Kind of a similar, spreading the floor again, a little ball screen, two-man game on that right side of the floor. That's going to be a blocking foul on Wapak,
So Sadler assessed the foul, his first. And will be shooting foul shots from here on out. That puts Siebenek at the line, 61% for the season from the charity stripe. First one is just a bit short.
Yeah, so a lot of these form on some of the shooting, they just don't keep the follow through. They drop that follow through a little quick.
Second one
there
is
that time,
right there.
That time he kept it. Yeah, much better job.
Cuts it down to a 1-point lead for Wapakoneta in a game that has been pretty nip and tuck, back and forth all the way. Neither team has had a major lead. About the largest lead was 7 for Kalida. They led 32-25 in the third quarter.
Yeah, a little block. They're going to call a little blocking foul on Smith. Page, Smith's arguing that maybe Page got a little bit of a forearm there to create separation, but
yeah. But it's going to be foul shots from here on out, as we mentioned. First one is no good. Substitutions coming through. Schrader and Siebenek. Vorst will have a seat. Siebenek back in with Klausing, Kerner, Hoffman, and Smith for Kalida. Page, Moyer, Metzger, Sadler in for Wapakoneta along with Cashattle.
Yep, so once again, open, very spreading the floor themselves. Kalida Wildcats are. There's that little elevator from the left wing. They do a little elevator screen for the cutter. Wow, that spacing was rough.
Talk about threading the needle on that pass.
Yeah. Comes that pass to the wing, shallow cut to the corner, then let's have a two-man ball screen with a roll in the post. There it is. Oh, drag that foot.
Travel, yep. Wapak, since Kalida's 7-point lead, has outscored the Wildcats 15-6.
Full court man pressure with the inbounder, kind of 3 to guard 2 with the 2 guards. It's pretty decent composure and patience.
Get it back out. And we'll have a foul.
Coach Stexley called for that one. He's getting them on the line. Let's get back down the floor the other way.
So do you like that strategy? Instead of them trying to run a play, you just foul them, put them to the line, and then get right back on offense?
It's a tough one, but Jim Valvano would have proved that to be correct, because he did a few things back in that time where you wouldn't ever think about fouling, but he did to get the ball back.
Yeah.
And winning a national championship, so it worked out for
right.
him. But you know, when you do that, you know they did it on purpose. So they did it a couple times with NC State. They did it, and that really froze the shooter.
Yeah.
So right now it's 3 points. So he's got an opportunity, to come back down and tie the basketball game instead of letting Wapak run the clock down or run it out and do something.
We'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back. Welcome back. Our quarter sponsor tonight is Matt's Heating and Cooling. Is your home in the energy efficient zone? Call Matt's Heating and Cooling or go to callmattsheating.com to schedule your free estimate. They're sponsoring overtime for us as well. So 5th quarter and maybe 6th quarter. We'll see how the final few seconds of this one goes. Wapak with a 3-point lead with 45.3 seconds remaining.
Very
4-1, the overtime score here. Wapak leading Kalida. Go ahead, Coach.
Full court man-to-man. Actually, looks like a 1-2-2, a little bit run and jump. That's very interesting.
Kalida with only 2 field goals in the 4th quarter and overtime.
Now it's back to man, but they started on an all full court 1-2-2 run and jump.
17 seconds, looking for something. They're going to take it inside. They'll give him the layup, but he can't hit it.
Yeah, he just took that extra reach step when he was going to the basket and got himself a little bit out of his body, a little out of position. Normally he does a great job finishing those.
And a smart play by Wapak. Everyone just gets away from him like, a layup doesn't beat us. We don't want to foul him and send him to the line.
And he just got his steps, kind of got his stepping a little bit wrong and got to take that one last white step. But you're right, Patrick. They got out of the way.
First free throw is good, making it a 2-possession game.
I remember when Trey Elkert played, and it's really good to see some really nice young talent, in the coaching world. He did a really good job, I think, of managing the game, and that timeout when they were a little bit disarrayed, and he came out and ran a nice little entry and a little set out of that got him a bucket.
Second one, no good. 8 seconds, needs something. 3-pointer on the way. Frost the 3-pointer, no good. Rebound by Page, and that should do it. We'll have one more foul with 2.2 seconds left. So for Wapakoneta, they get closer and closer to getting back to 500. For the Kalida Wildcats, they will fall to 3-16 on the season, and it's a team you get the sense, you see them last night, they played a tough Miller City team last night. You get the sense that I'm sure moral victories don't mean a ton, but you look at Kalida and you think they are getting better. They are starting to put it together.
Yeah, I mean, coaching, you gotta be good when you're a little bit down and you're trying to improve and get better. But you got to be good when you have a lot of talent too, because you got to make them all play together and work together.
Final score from tonight, Wapakoneta hangs on for the 43-38 win in overtime over Kalida. We'll be back to wrap this one up when we come back on WOSN. Back at Wapakoneta High School, the Redskins hang on, come from behind to win over Kalida 43-38. Patrick Hamler, Rich Bensman wrapping this one up as we bring you our Stolly Hustle Award winner tonight. You can check out highlights of tonight's Stolly Hustle Award winner on the WOSN YouTube page. Welcome back into the broadcast position. I'm Patrick, he's Rich, and it is Nate Metzger, the Stolly Hustle Award winner tonight. 11 points, and really when Wapak was struggling there a little bit, Kalida had built that 7-point lead. Metzger doing a great job of just scoring when he needed to and keeping them in the game.
Yeah, and also attacking the basket. He did a great job. Very aggressive. A lot of the little things you don't get to see in the game of basketball, he did.
Wapakoneta climbing up to 9-10 overall with the win, and Kalida falling to 3-16 with the loss this evening. And again, Nate Metzger, our Stolly Hustle Award winner. That is going to wrap up our broadcast from this evening here at Wapak High School. I want to thank Jennifer Beck, Abby Beck, Kelsey Beimer for helping us put all of this together, making sure that you can see everything. Kelly gets back in master control. Nick Fraley back at the ranch as well, putting all this together. One more time, our final here, 43 to 38 in overtime. Wapak gets the win. For Rich Bensman and our entire WOSN staff, I'm Patrick Kamler saying so long, everyone, from Wapak.